Guten Morgen an alle. Ich begrüße euch herzlich zu unserem zweiten Webinar über Japan. Diesmal gehen wir mehr ins Detail. Das heißt, es geht mehr um Japan für Fortgeschrittene, für Leute, die sich ein bisschen schon auskennen in Japan. Und ich übergebe gleich an den Rehmann, der sich verantwortlich zeichnet für Japan im europäischen Raum. Und Rehmann wird auch gleich nochmal erzählen, wie er nach Japan gekommen ist. Und ich wünsche jetzt allen viel Spaß, auch im Namen von SDR Destination Handling. Viel Spaß dabei und bis bald. Rehmann, I hand over to you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, welcome all. This will be the second presentation of Japan. Last time we discussed more of the general things about Japan, and today I'll be going into more details and what the things that make it more special to travel with us. So yeah, I'm Raymond from Beauty of Japan, and we specialize in tailor-made planning, and we do that for pretty much all kinds of travelers, so FIT groups, incentives. And in particular, we specialize in off the beaten track experiences and locations. And that's most of what I'll be discussing today. And we also do all kinds of land arrangements. So we take care of pretty much everything: accommodations, transfers, guides, experiences. Yeah, so our main strengths of our company are its unique content. So we take care that we don't have that many things that our competitors also have. So we really focus on the rural parts of Japan and the places where most tourists don't really go. So we're really able to deliver some unique contents. Also, our companies consist of people who have all lived abroad, like in the West. So we are very much in tune with Western clientele. We know what they want, and we can always meet their demands. We are also very flexible and offer well support here in Japan because we're located here, right? So if there's anything wrong, we can always help immediately. And we also have a very high standard of guides. We vet them beforehand and only use the ones that are specifically for certain tours or certain experiences. So first I'll be going over some off the beaten track locations. Let's see. So first we offer some packages, tours for certain locations. So for instance, we have a 2-day, 1-night tour of Nikko. That is, it's very close to Tokyo. So you can go there with the train with, I think 1 hour, 1.5 hours, you can make it with the speedy train. This is a very well-known place because it has a few World Heritage sites, but this tour offers a bit more than that. So you'll of course be touring the World Heritage sites, but you'll also be on the second day be going to more of the nature side outside of the proper Nikko city. So then you'll go to the Nikko National Park, which consists, as you can see, of a lot of nature that's really not known by tourists. So it's really, well, it's very, very authentic. And as you can see, it has very beautiful lakes and volcanoes. So it's something you don't really see often in other countries. It's very special to go there. And especially because it's also concentrated in one place, it's a good place to see the landscape of Japan. Another location is Ise. Ise is, well, Japan is quite large, so we have different climates. Ise is located in a place on the south end, which is more subtropical. So the weather is always very good there. And it's near the sea, so it has a very particular culture that is close to the sea. As you can see in the pictures, there are so-called ama, female divers, that have been operating there for thousands of years now. They dive into the sea without any equipment, and they collect not fish, but mostly seashells, that kind of stuff, and different kinds of seafood, and eat it like that. So that is one of the things you can experience there. We offer experiences as well where you can actually go along diving with the ama. If that is a bit too scary for you, you can just watch them do it, of course. But it's a very nice experience to just actually go along with them diving and collect the food. And then you can also, of course, join them and eat the food afterwards. Aside from that, it's a pretty standard resort location as well. It has a very local feel to it because it's quite out of the way. It's around 1 hour from the Kansai area, which is Kyoto and Osaka. So you can go there quite easily, but it is a very local place, so you can really get a feel for how well actual Japanese not non-touristy locations feel like. Another place is Setanoichi Islands. This place is pretty famous for like an art festival that's always going on there. As you can see, there's a lot of modern art placed all around the islands. It's also, as you can see, subtropical, so the weather's always nice. And there's a famous place you can stay at called the Benesse House that oversees the art projects going on the island. So it's a great place to stay at because the hotel itself is kind of an art exhibit. So when you stay there, you really get the full experience. And the tour we offer there is you'll be going along with a former employee of the Benesse House. So he knows all about the island, the art, and he'll be able to show you around and tell you everything about the exhibits and the festival that goes on. Another location is Kagoshima, that is on the southern island of Japan. That's one that not most people go to, so especially for repeaters, it's a very nice place to go to as it's very rich in nature, especially in very diverse nature. It has a lot of volcanoes and a lot of proximity to the sea. So what people like to do is like in Hokkaido, the northern island, that is also one that is very close to nature, is just take the car because most of the time it's kind of difficult to move around a lot with trains there on those two islands. So people often rent a car and just move around the various nature locations because it's not really easy to go around there with just public transport. And yeah, as you can see, they have a pretty different culture as well. Like the sand bath that people are taking there is kind of funny. You can do that. It's said to be good for your skin because there's a lot of minerals from the volcano in the sand there. And there's also lots of other things you can see there, of course, like certain caves and other nature areas. And there's a lot of hot springs there. As you can see, you can even go there in the hot spring and cook an egg just as you take a bath in the hot spring. The next area that's of interest is the so-called Aizu area. It's more on the northern end of Japan. This is an area that has very close ties to Japan's history. So the last civil war they had in Japan, that's around 150 years ago, this was the last place where the opposition stayed at. So this place still has a very strong spirit of the samurai, and it's preserved in its very old nature. So as you can see, these old thatched houses, this is a so-called post town. Post towns were, well, back in the day when they used to travel, it used to take a long time, of course, to travel from one city to the next. So they would have these post towns between cities where you could stay and rest and eat. And this one has been fully preserved, and it's near the Aizu area. You can actually go here and get a tour of the area and also actually do certain experiences such as having food the old-fashioned way and also making the roofs, as you can see here. So it's very nice to sort of relive the old-fashioned Japan if you really want to have a sense of how they lived. You can even stay there at a homestay. And very close to that, in the same Aizu area, is well, proper town called Aizuwakamatsu. And this is a very rural town. So if you really want to get a feel for how rural Japan lives and still have some sort of semblance of modernity, then it's a very nice place to go because they have a lot to do and they have a very distinct culture. They have their the very big castle, as you probably have seen, like Japanese castles. They have one that it's 100% intact still. You can go there, and also it's close to nature, so you can go hiking. And they have their very special culture there as well. So they're known for stuff like their lacquerware And they have a lot of award-winning sake breweries there where you can just go to taste test. So it's a very nice place to go to if you want a more cultural experience and want to know the local atmosphere of Japan, not the big cities. So next, I'll be talking more about some unique experiences we offer. Of course, we offer a whole lot, but I'll just be covering some very special ones we offer. So the first one is we allow you the opportunity to meet with a famous bonsai master in Tokyo. It's called Kobayashi Kunio. You can meet him and pretty much hang out with him for a few hours and see what he does all day and see how he goes to work, ask him all kinds of questions. And he'll also be able to give you a demonstration of how he does his work with the bonsai. Of course, he's going to give you a lecture on how everything works, so you don't really need to know everything beforehand. You get a very good understanding of this fine art that Japan has been doing for many, many centuries. Another big thing we offer is sumo programs. This is also in Tokyo. So we offer a whole wide variety of sumo programs. The first and probably most famous is you can actually go and watch their morning practices. So you'll be going to an actual stable where sumo wrestlers actually practice every morning. You can attend that. So it's a very nice way to see an actual match that does not involve going to one of those actual tournaments, which are very hard to get into. So this way you can see, and it's also very up close. So it's a very good way to experience the actual sumo up close. And we also offer different kinds of a bit more easy to digest, I guess, experiences in that they just do a demonstration for you. A couple of ex-sumo wrestlers will be giving you a demonstration of a quick match and also give a lecture and explain the rules. Because if you go to the practice watch, you won't really get an overview of the sport. So maybe if you're more new to it, then it's better to get a lecture and then a demonstration from ex-sumo wrestlers instead of active participants right now. Also, we have an experience where you can go to the stable at night, where they always have their extensive dinners. So yeah, sumo wrestlers are pretty big, as you know, and they get big by eating big. So you can join them with their meal and also get to talk to them just on a private, personal level. And one other experience we have is you can do a walking tour with an ex-sumo wrestler around the Ryogoku neighborhood. That neighborhood is known for being a sumo neighborhood because they have the big the sumo hall there, and a lot of stables are situated around there. So their life pretty much is situated there. So you'll be going on a walking tour with the next sumo wrestler, and he'll be telling you all about what it is, how it is life as a sumo wrestler. Another cultural aspect we offer is this is in Tokyo and Kyoto. You can do one of the authentic dinners with geisha. So what you'll be doing exactly is you'll have a very fancy meal at a very nice place. So this is more for luxury clients. So what you'll be doing is have a so-called kaiseki meal, which is, as you can see in the pictures, it's a very elaborate and fine dining kind of meal. It's a traditional Japanese food. It consists of a lot of courses, like 9 courses often. But yeah, it's a very long thing, and during that time you'll be entertained by the geisha. So they'll be performing and interacting with you, playing games maybe, and there's going to be traditional Japanese music playing all the time. So it's a very fun and traditional way of experiencing Japan. And this is also one that's more for luxury. There's a members-only restaurant we are able to have our guests have access to. This is a place that has a bunch of restaurants and also a cigar lounge. The restaurants are all, the chefs are all with famous, extensive backgrounds. So if you really want to go fine dining one day, then, well, if you want to splurge or if you're just a luxury client, then you can go here. And this is a exclusive place that you can enter through us. And another exclusive thing we offer is doing a tour of the new Toyosu fish market. So it used to be the fish market at Tsukiji, but that was relocated last year. Was it 2 years ago? To Toyosu. And normally you can't enter the inner market anymore because that's only for people that buy from wholesalers, right? So restaurants and shops. But with this experience, you'll be going together with a restaurant owner. He'll be showing you around the inner market and how he does the buying of the different fish, and he'll explain to you what exactly he looks for and the relationship he has with all the different wholesalers there. So it's a very exclusive look at the inner market of the place. And after that, you'll be going to the old market, the Tsukiji market. The outer market is still open there, so you'll still be able to get the old-fashioned market feel there and see what it was like. And after that, you'll go to the actual restaurant of the restaurant owner you were with. He'll be able to serve you some special stuff you just bought, including so-called matured tuna. That's actually a new kind of sushi they're making, which is same as like matured meat, like matured steak. But this time they did it with tuna and made sushi out of it. So it's pretty special to get to taste that, as that's a pretty new development in sushi craft. Another one of a nice cultural experience is in Kyoto. You can go along with one of the craftsmen that actually repairs the temples in Kyoto. So this is pretty unique in that you can get to experience the different temples up close and really get to know the architecture and see how people repair those temples. Because, well, as you can probably figure, the temples are so old that they need to be constantly upkept and repaired. So there's always people going around and doing the repairs on them. So this is a good way to really get to know the temples from up close and know their architecture, how they're built, how they're maintained, and just really get a good look inside them. And in the same vein, we have a tour that's offered by a professional gardener. So especially the temples in Kyoto always have a very expansive garden around them that are not just randomly made. They're very much designed. So this tour offers an opportunity to see how they are designed and how they are upkept. And you'll actually be going to one of the famous temples that is known for its garden, Nanzenji Temple. So you really get a good background on why exactly stuff like this is the way it is and what it means in an often religious sense. You'll just get a lecture and why they designed it that way and how they keep it up. Also, a bit more for luxury clients is a sake brewery visit. This one is also not actually open to the public, so we have to arrange that for you, and it's only meant for VIPs. You'll be able to get to one of the famous award-winning sake breweries, get on the inside and see how they do their work, and also, of course, get a taste test of all their different brews. This is in Kyoto. It's pretty much the same as the Geisha experience, although you can do more. This is a Maiko experience. Maiko meaning those are geisha in training. So that means you'll probably be able to do a lot more with them. You can also dress up yourself as a Maiko if you like that, and you can do stuff like play games with them, interact with them. Also, just go out in the streets, the more traditional kind of area in Kyoto, walk around with them and just explore the place and see how it is doing life as a Maiko. Another experience which is quite unique is being able to make a Japanese style knife. Unfortunately, you can't make a blade because that is not really legal to carry around, so it's only a knife. But yeah, there's only a very few what do you call that, workshops left that create knives, because it takes a long time to be able to perfect the technique. But yeah, if you come to here, then you'll be able to, well, in one day, learn about how to make it, and they'll help you make a knife for you, and you can even take it home by yourself. And as you can see, it's pretty intensive. You actually get to make it in the cauldron, and like actually get to take it with you. So this is kind of pretty unique to experience this yourself. Another thing that is not really in a city, so if you go out more into the mountains, then we can offer a tour with an actual like mountain ascetic hermit. They are people that do a certain religion that that is of the mountains. So they worship the mountains and have all kinds of spirits they visit there. So you'll be able to go along with one of those hermits, and he'll give you a tour of the mountain and what exactly they do during their sort of pilgrimages there, and he'll teach you all about the religion itself. You'll also get to do along with him the rituals he does when he goes up the mountains. So it's a very very unique thing to be able to do, to go along with a professional like that. Up next is some unique accommodations we offer. Of course, we can offer everything, but these are just a sample of some very nice locations we can offer. First up is, this is actually in the Ise area I mentioned before. This is the Hiramatsu chain. The Hiramatsu chain is very much known for their focus on the culinary. So this one is also, if you're a foodie, then this is very much recommended to go to, because they really offer food from like world-renowned chefs. And this is located so in more of a resort location, and it's really close to one of the biggest Shinto shrines there is in Japan. So it's pretty much a holy ground. It's a very nice location to just go to and get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Another one is a bit more away from the city, is Sasayurian. It's pretty much a townhouse. It's renovated from a very old townhouse villa that an old samurai used to have. So this is, you can go here and really get a feel for what it was like living in the old age. You'll be able to rent this entire townhouse for yourself. It's especially good if you're with a family. You can get an entire area like this by yourself, and it's a good way to just relax and we'll get to know how it was like back in the old days in Japan. One of the other unique places we have is this is also in a retreat area. So this hotel is made by famous architect Tadao Ando. He made this. So if the clients are interested in going to certain boutique hotels, this is a very good choice, especially if they're looking for a more relaxing neighborhood. There's not much around here, but if you're really looking to get away from the city, have a very relaxing time, then this is a good place to go with very artsy surroundings in your hotel. Another Hiramatsu place is at Okinawa. So this one is more of a bungalow style. Of course, this is also the same Hiramatsu that, so it has a lot of focus on the culinary aspect. So you'll be able to get a lot of good meals in here. But this is also a nice place to stay, as it's just a bungalow, not really a hotel style. And it's in Okinawa. That is the it's a tropical place, island to the south of Japan. So it's especially if you're looking for a beach holiday, then Okinawa is a very good place to go. And yeah, that's it. If there's any questions, please let me know.
Rehman, I have actually a question, because I promised that you tell a little bit how you came to Japan.
Okay. Yes. Well, for me personally, I studied Japanese at university in Holland, and after that, I just started looking for a job in Japan. It was pretty hard to find that, like from Holland. But then I just I went to Japan and started looking there directly, and I ended up in the tourism industry because I just love to travel around. So it was something I was already pretty knowledgeable about, and I was able to use my expertise of just loving Japan, I guess, to do my job now.
All right, fantastic. Is there any other question? Riemann, it doesn't look like. So thank you very much to you and to our listeners. I wish all a very good summer and hope to hear and see you soon. Goodbye.
Yes. Bye.